Hey, this is Ryan Johnson. Join us for Podathon 2022. It benefits the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's on September 17th. I'm going to be on there with Octu Radio at 8 p.m. And you can donate now at thepodathon.com.
Do it. Yeah. See?
Exactly. You will click the donation link now.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be clipped out and dropped everywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Gerry! There's the Rickmeister.
In this big game that we play, life, it's not what you hope for, it's not what you deserve, it's what you take. I'm Frank T.J. Mackey, a master of the muffin, and author of the Seduce and Destroy system, now available to you on audio and video cassette. Seduce and Destroy will teach you the techniques to have any hard-body blonde just dripping to wet your dock.
Had a little bit of money, so the Lord did me good. Got all kind of shit. Got the glow sticks, I got the gotcha bag, got the Hawaiian punch. Man, everybody won't holler at Pop what you need. I got it. If I ain't got it, I can find it, you understand? I'm selling glow sticks. Glow sticks that go with the yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Here's that rainy day they told me about, and I laughed at the thought.
この惑星の子供たちと呼ばれる存在にはおはようございます超重要でありんだそう全身でぶつかっていかなくてはならないもしよかったら付き合って声が小さいただ教師としてあるまじきそういう分かったこの惑星の教育は加減が難しいでも君はいい教師になる缶コーヒーのボスレインボーマウンテン
Living in America. There's nothing wrong. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm out on love. Out on love. Alone from night to night, you find me.
Concerned about that?
No, Dakishan. I'm concerned because there's nothing wrong.
And what are you going to say to your fans when they ask you some...
I'm going to say I feel good. Papa's got a brand new bag. It's a man's world.
What you're going to be doing on this tour?
Jam.
Source, there you are.
And we'll be doing a lot of good things, and hopefully we'll get Brother Ted Turner on the cover. Ted, where you at? Hasta luego.
You know, might go off, or I don't know, what kind of practical jokes do you play?
Well, with my new chemistry set, thanks to Brie Larson, I do like to make stink bombs.
こんにちは。ボンバットファミリーと私たちのライブ放送へようこそ。私たちはあなたの視聴とリスニングの喜びのための素晴らしいショーを持っています。今あなたのホストスコッティ・ジェイロとジェリー・ケーブルに Stay Bombad を楽しんで覚えておいてください。
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is up, Bombad fam? Welcome to yet another episode of the Bombadcast. It's great to see all of you. It's great to be here. I don't know why I was doing that it's very William Shatner of me. I don't know what I was really doing there, but you know what? It's fine. Listen, guys, we're almost to the weekend. It's almost Friday. We got a big announcement coming tomorrow. We can't really talk about it tonight, so don't bug us. Don't bug us. Don't bug us. Okay? I'm a little crooked. There we go. There we go. But yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to the Bombadcast. I am your boy, the Cannon Junkie. We're doing great. Thank you for asking, Jake76. There are more shows on this network, or excuse me, I used a naughty word, on this YouTube channel, as it were. Listen, so you got the main show, the coup de grace, the creme of the creme that you are watching currently. You are living it. You are a part of it. It's the Bombadcast. It's the live stream every Thursday. We put it out as audio. People listen to this as a podcast. Can you believe it? It's insane. Listen, we're so glad you're all here, but we also do Bombad Gaming. Oh, I tricked him. Bombad Gaming every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. Scotty plays any number of games. He can play backgammon, sometimes chess. Sometimes he plays the old school mousetrap. It's pretty great. You should check it out. But yeah, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central. Come check out my boy Scotty playing games and yucking it up. And then every other Saturday, in fact, this Saturday, we have a little show called Hyperfocus, and that's where I sit down with any number of Star Wars creators, content creators, podcasters, whoever, and we talk about maybe something that they're hyper focused on that is probably not Star Wars. It's a conversation show, and you, the viewers, have a chance to call in. You can't see I'm doing quotation marks in my fingers right there. Call in at the end of the show. I'll put the link in the stream, and you come in and talk with me and the guest. It's a great time. But tomorrow, or excuse me, Saturday, not tomorrow, Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be sitting down with Goose from Triad of the Force. We met at Celebration. We became boys real fast. We're like thick as thieves, both emo kids from way back. And so it's going to be a good time. We're probably going to talk emo stuff and cry. But anyway, listen, before we go any farther, I think I need to bring in my buddy, my Bombad boyo, let me see, my peanut butter to my sensual jelly, Scotty J-Ro, the Scott J-Ro, viral sensation. Where are you, Scotty? How's it going?
Partying is cool. Dying is not.
That's right, Paul. Partying sure is cool. Dying is not.
Nah.
And if you die before our special interview airs during Podathon, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking you're gonna kill yourself. I'm just kidding. That's what I'm saying. So, you're gonna die. Yeah, you're already dead.
Die.
Anyway,
you're gonna die.
Just kick me out. Just kick me out.
Okay, I have to give a shout out to a student real quick. I had a student, I'm not gonna say their names because I don't want to legally get in trouble, but I got some new Bombadcast fan art, and I love when my students give us Bombadcast fan art. Check this one out. This one's a great one. Look at this. This is awesome.
Oh,
look at that.
That's amazing.
This is sick. Isn't this
That's
sick?
Gotta go on a sticker. That's gotta go on a freaking
know.
Sticker right now.
It's amazing. He's a great kid. So I had to give him a shout out. Isn't that good art? I was so excited.
What was the name again? What was the student's name again?
I don't want to give any names. Just
sorry.
I thought you
had said it. See, this is where listen, it's fine.
It's okay.
I'm already off to a great start tonight.
So I want to say a couple things real quick for those that don't know. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Patreon is taking a little bit of a back burner, but once Andor comes out, we'll be doing exclusive shows just because we're planning Podathon and all that. But I got to give a shout out to our patrons right now. Podathon this year, it is wild, and you'll know tomorrow why. Blurry. You'll know tomorrow
why we've been a little absent.
Yeah, why it's been a lot of work in the making. But that being said, shout out to our patrons. We got Rick Villanueva, we got Nick Milky, we got Joey Tight Pants Organum, we got Rez, Seth Parnell, Jared Bachman, Stub, Jeff Brian Fry, Michael McCoy, M from Peak Milk, Brian Hennessy, not Hennessy, Todd DeGrasse, we also got Neil Lowry, Chase Hauser. Pull up Chase's comment. Chase is in the chat. Let me see that comment.
Oh, here we go.
Let me see that comment.
Chase.
There we go.
Hell
So
yeah,
Chase,
you're right.
we got
That's right.
Wesley Woolridge. He's one of our celebration friends. We got William Hardy, whoever the heck that is. We got Preston Dugas, whoever the heck that is. We got the amazing Eli, my little shrimp friend from in a galaxy. We got Trey Mitchell, David at K2S Bro, Alden Diaz, Buck O'Brien, and Richie Rasputin. This is a good Patreon. Now, if you want to join, you get all kinds of things. It's only $7 a month, or you set your price. We got exclusive call-in shows. We've got Patreon group chats. We got Q&A segments, private live stream hangouts, live watch-alongs. And look, I'm going to be honest with y'all. On tomorrow, I'm going to be joining Pete and Nick for streaming Star Wars after we have a recording with our special guest. And I'm going to post simultaneously, maybe like a minute before probably, on our Patreon who our guest is going to be. So you'll get it right as I announce it on streaming Star Wars.
To Twitter. Don't go immediately to Twitter. Like let it naturally flow.
It's going to be a moment when we make the announcement. So a lot of people, and I'm just going to clear up the air so no one gets their hopes up. It's not Ahmad Best.
It's not.
That's something I've been. Have gotten. I'm not joking. I've gotten 4 DMs today from people that are like, "Is it Ahmed Best?" I'm like, unfortunately, it is not. So
that would be fantastic, but no.
Just know it's someone that.
But it is.
This is the crazy one. This is the crazy one. And I'll say this, and I won't go any further details.
Okay.
It's someone our parents knew, and that is a big deal.
Well, and the one I had was that this is someone who has been involved in Star Wars. This is someone who has been in a Star War of some kind, story content.
Yes. Yeah.
So
canon. So I can't give it away, but it's someone my parents knew, which is crazy because I would text mom, "Hey,
I haven't asked
I took a picture." Well, I took a picture with Doug Chang, sent it to my mom and my aunt. They're like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "He's the VP of Lucasfilm, John Knoll, whatever." I told them about Ryan Johnson. Even they were like, "I maybe know who that is." This one in particular, my mom's like, "No way." I'm like, "Yes." So we can't reveal anything just yet.
I told my my older work, like a coworker, and he was like, "Oh, get out the dancing girls for for this one," which he's a boomer.
He's a boomer.
What's up, Silver?
I love it. Oh, this is awesome. Well, so
it's gonna blow your minds.
Tomorrow night we record it, and we're gonna get on a little early just to talk and hang out. So we're super excited. I mean, it's going to be the recording session of a lifetime. I'm pumped. But what was the original Star Wars singular? I like that. I guess it was. Well, that's weird.
Probably
I don't
Star
even know what
Wars.
that means. Okay,
Before
maybe
it was even A New Hope.
Yeah, or I'm thinking in terms of like what kicked off the Star Wars. What was the original Star War? What led it up?
I think that was probably George Lucas's first crush.
Look, I agree, Chase. A lot of people, I told my parents, Katie obviously knows, our producing team knows, and that's
I've
like
told
about
some coworkers. I've told some coworkers. I haven't told my parents because they will not know. I could be like, it's the guy from that movie where the guys get lost in the canoe, and the girls that don't shave their legs and stuff, and they might be like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, no, like not hardly anyone. It's close to the vest. Only those closest to us know. So
That being said, look, we got Pete.
Yeah.
I know Nick knows.
Pete says this. Pete's letting out the secret. Charles Entertainment cheese. Shh. Don't tell anyone.
Okay. That being said, tonight we're doing some fun coverage. Now I remember the Blast Points guys covered this before. I know we also covered we covered the Bobby White Gant stuff. This isn't the same exact, I guess, bracket as that. I literally wait, same. This is who gave us this card? Because you gave me this.
I forgot it was someone we met in that little courtyard. There was a couple courtyards at the
and they said give this to Scotty, right? They were like, give
this to Scotty. It was someone, yes, who and this card survived the great computer soaking of 2022. So
Look at this. And this
It's
way,
in a very
and then
thick
on the-
case, though. It's in a very thick case.
Look at the duality of human existence. You ready? Watch Bobby Wygant and
Woo!
Stanley.
Oh man, mine's just fan
And
facts.
you know what's
and there was a
nice?
hair stuck to the back too.
So, no, it's nice that they actually gave
What?
us the card holder as well. That was the best part of the gift. Like,
Very
you
nice.
could have put this in your pocket and like just ruined it, but they gave the card holder so it would not get damaged. One of my
This has
favorite
come
giveaways of
all the
celebration.
way from Anaheim, California, to northern
right.
Michigan and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and
Yeah.
yeah. Let me get out Scotty's address too, real quick. But it's insane. And again, I'm
Yep.
sorry we forgot. Thank you, person who gave us these because they're fantastic. So
Yep. That being
That's
said,
all-
Jerry,
that's all.
let's
That's all
get
I
into
got.
the meat and potatoes of this episode. Yeah, we can't keep plugging Podathon. I know we can keep doing it. We could probably talk about and allude to it for the next 2 hours, but I don't want to do that. So
we
what
could
this
just hype
is-
you up. An entire episode of hype, honestly, would be so us. You know?
Yeah, it would be. So that being said, look, let me show you all this. What we're gonna watch is from a channel called and it's a great channel. This video has only 500 views, which is shocking. I
That's
have not
wild.
watched all that much of it, though I know
Let's
it's
up
going to
it.
be good just because of the content itself. So it says rewind George Lucas 1987 press conference for the Star Wars special edition. So I have never seen that much footage from this. I know Rick's there. I know Ben Burt's there. So it's very interesting. So let's take in the Georgisms. Let's comment on that, and let's look at the actual context of this. I really don't know. Oh, Jerry, wait! Before we do that, can you praise our Lord and Savior? Can you please?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Listen, yeah, we almost forgot, guys. Look, we've got another sponsor. We got a sponsor. Like we've kind of had our, Jared of the Dark Jedi, who's bad at trivia. He's got his Sundays Bloody Marys and whatever, and Roosevelt's. But listen, we've had Hooters. We've had and I don't think we have them on the thing. So no, there's no context to what I just said. So
there's no context at
we
all.
have Hooters. We have Wikipedia.
Ducks.
Book of Boca Fett. It's like
Book of
Boca
Boba Fett.
burgers, but like Boba Fett themed. And guys, tonight, Bombadcast is proud to let you know. Listen, we're proud to be sponsored by Noodles. Eat like our God. And that's about it. So, eat noodles. It gets funnier the more you look at it, doesn't it? You just look at that man is sitting there. That man is worth billions and created basically our entire childhood. That man. And he also enjoys noodles, which who doesn't? So look at that. He's got the newspaper on. Like, I love how the newspaper's on a tray even. Anyway, go eat noodles like our God, George Lucas. Praise be.
Let's watch George back in the day do a little bit of talking. Here we go.
Listen,
Eat noodles like
you don't
our
know
God.
how to read. Listen, that's why I did the ad read, William. So
Eat our noodles.
let's go.
Like
Let's
God.
go. Scotty did the same thing. Here we go.
No, because I've wanted to do this ever since I did the movie. If you go back and you check the interviews of when I made the movie, and everybody said, "Oh, this is so." I said, "Well, it didn't turn out very well. It's only about 40% of what I want it to be. I'm really disappointed in it." And every interview, relentlessly, right through the thing, and everybody said, "What is he talking about? This guy's got to be crazy."
That was a pretty
And-
George. That was a pretty George.
Yeah.
What is he talking about? So wait, you watched All Light of Magic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That one
I have
line
completed
where he's
it.
like, I sort of was afraid I was going to make a turkey. That was my favorite line. It's like, it's a real
Yeah.
turkey. That was
There's
so
a lot of
George,
good
and
George clips, man.
There
Like,
is.
oh,
The
man.
best one is, and I'll repeat it verbatim. A story is a story is a story is a story. It's always about the story. I'm like, that's right. That's true.
It is.
Whatever that means. That's it.
He's talking about my ad. Thanks, Pete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, like a story, dude. No, like immediately, like I just went straight to this space whenever he started going. A story is 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 a story. Like I just want to put him on a loop. As a story,
Yeah,
is a
of
story,
course.
is a story, is a story.
We might be able to do that. Might be worth it.
We probably should.
Just
We
cut
should.
it. Just 10-minute video. Okay, let's watch the video.
Let's go. Yeah.
And
what are you talking
so
about?
obviously everybody who works with me has been hearing this for 20 years. As a matter of fact, I think they were relieved. Well, finally, he's going to do it. He's going to get it. We don't have to listen to this anymore. And, you know, the opportunity came along with the 20th anniversary celebration. I say, you know, there were a lot of ideas bandied about what we were going to do, because everybody, both at Fox and at Lucasfilm, said, we've got to do something. You know, this is, you know, this is an important thing to us. It's an important thing to a lot of our fans. We should celebrate the fact that we've been here for 20 years. And rather than do some of the other things that had been presented, everybody agreed that we would take the risk. And people think, oh yeah, just, hey, pop it out there, it's great. But reissuing a movie that's been on video and on television, a live action film, has never been done before.
So wait, that is true. That was
Really?
groundbreaking that he did that. Yeah, I don't think anyone else had ever re-released with updated anything. So like, it is genius in terms of marketing, but also part of it too, it's like, he had an excuse to finish his film. Like that is really kind of an incredible way to approach that, right? Like he really could finish his project that way. I don't blame him. Like I really don't. Like, and how insane is it? 97 was the 20-year anniversary of Star Wars. Like only 20 years. We were like at Celebration Orlando in 2017. It was the 40. It's like, it's hard to wrap your brain around. Like, it was only 20 years old at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago was 2002. That's just insane. Like it's not that far ago. Oh
no,
genius.
No, it feels like it was just yesterday too. I also love go back real quick. Pull George up big. Here. I love that it looks. I know that other Evian is probably someone sitting beside him, but I love that it looks like he's got just 2 bottles of Evian. Like he's like super thirsty, or he's like, I want 2 bottles.
I just need them. And I know it's funny. You'll see it's super makeshift too. The whole thing is like very last minute, like the table's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. They do.
I also love the very that curtain looks dated for the time.
Oh yeah.
It was just like 94, 95 or
this
sorry,
no, this is
96,
97.
97. Yeah.
I'm gonna click play, okay?
Yeah.
And especially not at the scale. So everybody's saying, should we do this? Should we not do this? But when it came to doing it at that scale, I said, well, if we're going to put that much money in reissuing the movie, I want to get it right this time. So that was the thing that I said, well, because before, I mean, the idea of spending $5 million to noodle on a movie, you know, that you can't do that unless there's some way that somebody who's put the $5 million in is going to say, well, all right, hopefully maybe we can get some of that money back.
This is true. I want to address that. That's a really good point, Pete. Because this would have been a whole ass celebration panel. This would have been like live tweeted. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like it would have been Feige in front of like the crowd, like say like George up there with like, and in 1997 we've got the special editions, all 3 coming out. And in 1999 I'm gonna do a movie you're gonna love. So, but no, it would be like it would be a production today. Like it would be.
Isn't that insane?
Hyped. Yeah.
Isn't that insane? And like Pete's so right. This would have been played out so differently in 2022. Wait, and that's Andy. No announcement yet. Tomorrow on streaming Star Wars, there will be an announcement. Yes, we're very excited. Also, Brian Fry coming in clutch. Typical Brian Fry. He actually has a little bit of this, but it's Rick on his page. So we're gonna go to that in a minute as well. I got one of Ben Bird as well. So let's keep watching. This is super interesting. By the way, don't know if you noticed, they had to handwrite their signs. That's how unprofessional this is. Look at that. It's Rick.
I'm just now looking at the signs. George doesn't even have one.
Nope. And I don't know who's to the right of George, or I guess the left.
They know who I am.
Yeah, but like literally, Rick's got one, and Ben Burt has one as well. It's pretty wild. I'm gonna click play.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So insane.
Filmmaking doesn't quite work like that. You try to make the movie that you write as a script. And along the way, you have to make a large number of compromises. There's never enough time, never enough money. Some things just aren't possible. And so you have to rewrite, change, and in some cases cut things out that you'd planned to have in the movie. Those are always, sometimes you cut things out because they don't belong in the movie because it was an idea that didn't work. And it just, the film works better if you cut them out. Sometimes, like in the case of the Jabba the Hutt scene, it was a scene that worked and could have been in the movie, but at the same time, at that point in history, ILM was coping with so much work, and it was a brand new company, and we were way behind schedule. To add that sequence, which was a stop motion sequence, which we hadn't done too much of at that time, just would have broken the back of the
what's funny?
operation. We couldn't.
I wonder if a stop motion Jabba, because this is some Gerry and I never argue, and I mean that genuinely. We have different thoughts on certain things, but our biggest argument ever, like deeply, that the Jabba the Hutt scene. I always said, and Hello Greedo was on my side. That's one of our most downloaded episodes for some reason. The Hello Greedo special edition desertion. We had argued heavily that I feel like the Jabba sequence ruined the mystery of Jabba when you get to Return of the Jedi, but it's kind of cool when you look at it as an overall canon thing. It's kind of cool to see that Han and Jabba interaction, but
it's the same scene between him and Greedo. It's the exact same lines
same
as well.
Scene. Yeah,
which
literally,
whatever, it's like, I know that, but it's
this.
Listen, it exists.
This is interesting. I would argue that Jabba did. Okay, so I'm in the same belief, but how awful would it have been to see a stop motion, not fully realized Jabba the Hutt? Because it wouldn't have looked like it looked in '83. Yeah, it was either going to be that or it was going to be stop motion Jabba, which would look, I don't even know if that would even look good. That would look crazy. So I don't know. We watch Light and Magic. We know it's almost impossible to do anything like that. Let's see. So I'm under the tippet or the chest. Yeah, literally, like Jabba would have been. That would have been so much work to do stop motion. So
were they gonna? They were gonna replace the dude, right? The dude in the fur. They were gonna replace him with the stop motion character, right? Okay.
That's
so
yes.
Wild.
That's
well,
so
they could
wild.
even do that back then.
Yeah,
Look at I guess this is like overlaying it over the top.
Han, make me a cheese
steak. Cheese steak. Maca cheese steak. Suka crispa Greedo.
Why did you fry poor Greedo?
And why did you fry poor Greedo?
For Greedo.
Listen, for that line alone, it works. I will constantly be the curmudgeon. I will constantly be the curmudgeon. I fucking love this. I freaking love this scene.
What is the line we both hate, though? What's the line we both hate?
I don't know. Listen, you got it wrong. I love it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate. What is it?
You hate this with a passion. I love it because it's so Han Solo. He's like, Jabba, you're a wonderful human being, which honestly is probably a little space racist. But it was 1977. Whatever.
Jared would love that. That's all I'm gonna say. Jared's into space racism.
He loves racism. Space racism. He loves it. It's his bread and butter.
We could never have finished the film, so I just cut it out of the movie because I figured that the plot part, which is the exposition, which is that Han had a price on his head and needed to be, that was his motivation, was handled in the Greedo scene, which is the scene before that. So plot-wise, in this particular movie, it wasn't essential that it be there. It was going to cost way too much money and take too much time to do it. And I figured, I didn't know whether I was ever going to get to make the other movies. So I figured if I didn't make the third movie, the idea of introducing Jabba the Hutt really wasn't that important. Because
there we go.
If there never was a third movie, then it wasn't relevant, and it was a bigger idea. So I just figured to expedite matters, we would cut it out. And then that was gone. I mean, I was frustrated, and I was kind of disappointed that it couldn't be in the movie. But there's a lot of things I was disappointed about in that movie, and I wasn't real happy with it when it came out, and never felt it really got finished. So, and I never expected to be able to fix it. That's the normal way of making movies. I mean, almost any filmmaker can go back and say, gee, if I only had another few days, some more money, I could really fix a lot of those things that slipped by that I'd give anything to fix at this point. And, you know, I was fortunate enough when this opportunity came up to what we were going to do for the 20th anniversary. You know, is it going to be a convention? Should we reissue the films and everything? And the idea of reissuing the films took hold. That's when I said, this is my chance. This is my chance to fix all those things. So I took it, and I'm very happy with it.
See, that's interesting because, like, what would you rather? And I know this sparked Jared and Alden did an amazing podcast. This is what kind of sparked like some early fandom menace mentality of like, it's ours. You gave it to us, but now you're taking it back and ruining it. It's such a weird way of thinking because this man's entitled to do whatever he wants with his art. I mean, it's his art. Like people go back, like, and I've had arguments with Eric about this, not really arguments, but like, do you like the original mixing of a Beatles track or the remastered one in the 2022 remix? Like, what do you prefer? Because you are tampering with the original designer's art. I don't know. What's your take on that?
Warmness of the sound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone in the chat is like, I think everyone in the chat knows that I am a special edition fan. I've got the 95 special edition, like the original VHS is right back here. Along with the last original release and stuff. I got the faces original the last time the original Own It for the last time. And then,
Own It for the last.
Then I've got the I got the special edition, you know, immediately when that came out, you know.
Yeah,
but
of course.
So I had seen them on there, but like that, I got to see them in the theater.
Yeah,
and
that's so cool.
I mean, you could argue and my parents took me to every one of them. Like they were like, okay, we'll go see it whenever it comes out. We're gonna go see it. The next couple of months. We're gonna.
You were 10, right? Or you were like 9? You were like the perfect age.
I was like
97.
97. Yeah, because I was 12 in 99. Yeah.
There we go.
So like it was like the perfect. Yeah, man. Like the whole
damn.
like all of it. I remember just loving the new graphics and everything like that, which I know now looks a little dated. Like I would love for them to retouch everything. And I would like a re-release of the special edition.
But wait,
like even specialer. But anyway,
remember what I did for you? It was right after I think some stuff went down in your life. I did a digital copy of the special edition and 4x3, and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
So that does exist.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome.
We should do a watch. Maybe we should do a watch with the patrons. I'm just saying. But
that's right. All right.
But yeah, no, listen. As far as what was the question? My thoughts on him
going back and touching up your art. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I'm mixed on it because I am, for example, I don't know if I ever told this story on a live stream. I've told it in the podcast years ago, but I literally, and thank God for Best Buy. Jerry has the same exact, I think, feeling as me. Thank God for Best Buy. I went and bought a Blu-ray burner back in 2014, and I got the despecialized editions. And I literally bought a Blu-ray burner. I bought a 10 disc of Blu-rays, and I burned, I think, 3 of each movie on a Blu-ray, and I bought the Blu-ray burner back to Best Buy in the same weekend. So I could have the despecialized versions at home. So if I wanted to watch it without it's a fan edit, obviously, but it's taking all the special editions, you know, I guess, fluff out of it. So it's exactly how it would have been seen in theaters. It's like really high resolution remaster. So I'm like in a weird middle area. I want to watch it what it looked like if my dad was watching it in 77. Like that's something I have a deep thought and deep feelings for, you know?
Right. Which like, I mean, again, like the thing with, so an artist going back and retouching their art.
Yeah.
With paintings and sculptures, maybe not, that doesn't work so good. But with
what about
like
the Jesus one?
Music,
what about remember the one where the lady touched up the photo of the mosaic of Jesus? And it was like that horrible image. Have you seen that?
Well, yeah, but that's why I'm saying it doesn't so much work for that kind of stuff. And like with film and stuff, you can go back and add it in and change it a little easier. Or do what you want. But I mean, like Seth Gallinori and Saber said it in the chat here, you know, like an artist's never truly done with their work and everything, you know.
That's true.
Artist work is never truly done. And it's George's films. Ultimately, they're not ours. I mean, I know like, they're not ours, they're his. And you don't have to like them at all. That's not what I'm saying. But like, I will say, I personally don't get the hate. I don't. And I understand, like, wanting you're like, and again, maybe if they would actually release those original cuts legitimately. And again, there's not been an original cut of Star Wars since 1977. I'm just saying, like it.
That's
like
true.
The original cut, it was changed several times in the next couple of years.
And you know what's funny? There's a whole YouTube series on that, and I know other podcasts we associate with have broken that down.
Blast Points did a great episode on it. You know,
they did.
It's got different soundtracks, even like there's different there's different audio tracks that went to different theaters and everything. So like, what film did you see? Which version? There's so many.
You know, the funny thing about this,
70s.
I remember I watched this with my friends. I watched Clue back when I was a senior in high school on Netflix, and Clue was shipped to theaters with different endings. So you would go and talk to your friends at school, and they were like, "Well, wait, that's not how mine ended. Mine ended this way." And they would go
like
and
a fun little trick back in
friends,
the days before the internet.
Yeah, so like there's something to that. I feel like people would be livid if a movie did that now, which is kind of nice, you know. It's an artistic thing, but I agree with George for the most part. He has every right to do this.
I love that subversive stuff, though. Like I'm big on that. Like I think that's kind of fun. That's why I like The Last Jedi so much. I feel like it subverts your expectations in a good way, which I know is the bad thing that like everyone's like, ugh. But anyway, like I think that art should do that to you sometimes. If you're going in expecting what you're going to get out of a story, like and it hits beat for beat, what's the fun in that? I think. I say,
agree.
where's the fun?
Cool.
Where's all that? Yeah.
Imagine watching Star Wars, which everyone's so familiar with, and watching it with new stuff on top of it. That must have been Jerry, that must have been insane. And
dude, I was like, I'll tell you, I was actually, and I was 10. I was a little bummed that Empire Strikes Back didn't have any new stuff barely in it.
It barely did.
Like,
This Cloud City
one. Like it's honestly, it looks so much better. I think everyone who even doesn't like the special editions will admit Empire's pretty good.
It looks really good.
The Empire one's pretty good. But yeah, I remember being upset that they didn't add extra stuff because I'm like, you built this as extra stuff. Whereas there's more windows. Okay, cool. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this is funny. I got a message from Brian Fry yet again, one of our favorite people, a patron of the show. I think, he is. So he sent us his special editions on Laserdisc. For anyone that does not know, this is proto, I guess, or pseudo DVDs. I have a couple Laserdiscs myself.
It's like a CD the size of like a record, right?
Yeah, it's incredible. I got a student here spamming the chat. Hi. Hello, kiddo.
Hi.
Glad to see you in here. Hi. I also want to acknowledge a few things that people were saying in here while I was talking with G. I agree. Love, hate. That's where I'm at. Honestly, that's where I'm at. Look at this. 97. Ooh, all 3 big screens. That's amazing, Brian. God.
It was such a magical year because then they had all the toys too, you know, like they had all the toys and the like this is from the special edition toys and everything. Like
I'll pull it up big. Show it again.
Oh, it was a magical time. It's the like, you know, every movie had different toys to be released when the movie came out and everything at Taco Bell. And I love that kind of stuff. I love all of it. Like it's just, it has a special place in my heart. And again, again, you don't have to love it, but like we've already been through this in our other episode and all this, but like, it's one of those things where I truly like, I have so much love for it. I won't poo poo, but I'm also like, I don't get it. And you know what?
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine.
Well, it's funny because
just don't yuck my yum.
This press release was before anything had been shown. Like no one knew, like maybe in some magazines that we knew what it could look like, but I like this because it hasn't really even been aired yet. So I want to hear what he says about that. I'm sure he brings it up.
How happy?
I heard Rick.
Happy. I'm very happy with it.
How happy?
How happy?
Happy.
Okay. Young Rick voice, man.
We'll be back.
Special effects don't make a movie. You know, the story makes the movie.
Oh my God!
Allow you to tell a particular story.
We just said that. We just said that the story because he says that in Light and Magic. The story. I'm sorry. The special effects doesn't make the movie. The story makes the movie. The story. Holy shit! He just did the exact thing he said. That's insane.
Happy.
Okay. We'll be back.
Special effects don't make a movie. You know, the story makes the movie, and all the special effects do is allow you to tell a particular story. So in the original Jedi, I wanted to do a musical number. The state of the art at that point was that I could just barely get maybe 15 or 20 seconds out of it with a puppet that sort of moved around a little bit. That was all I could do. That was,
look at that
if I wanted to
face.
do a big musical number, it wasn't
2 seconds. I got to go back to that face. That was an incredible face.
around a little bit. That was all I could do.
That's like the cover of his sitcom
George.
DVD. Look.
That's all I can do.
What about George?
Look at I love George Lucas. Oh Jesus, that's all I could do. But that's
So
true.
beautiful. That's all
I want to hear more of those thoughts. That was a really good point.
So in the original Jedi, I wanted to do a musical number. The state of the art at that point was that I could just barely get maybe 15 or 20 seconds out of it with a puppet that sort of moved around a little bit. That was all I could do. That was, if I wanted to do a big musical number, it wasn't possible at that time. There was, we could have gone in and done some stop motion stuff, but stop motion at that point was not really up to the level that I had wanted to do this sequence, in terms of expression, because it was mostly faces and singing and stuff. And we toyed with it, and then again ran out of time and money, and just said, well, okay, 15 seconds of a musical number is fine there. Let's get on with it. But I'd always wanted to put it back. And new technology allows you to go one step further and make it what you originally envisioned it to be. So as a filmmaker, it's not like writing a book where you can use words to create an imaginary world in the reader's mind. Film is very literal. You actually, there's a certain kinetic reality that works that can fool the audience, but at the same time, you're stuck with a very literal interpretation of what's going on. You have to create something to photograph that fools the audience into thinking they're creating an imaginary world that allows them to function in this make-believe environment. Doing it with words is much easier. You don't actually have to construct the things. Mythology in general.
That was a good thing to digest. It's interesting, right? When you hear this man talk, all he wanted to do was revolutionize everything about the business. He wanted to, literally,
he just wanted to completely change it forever.
Yeah, he wanted to walk into, like he said, we dreamed of this 15 years ago, talking about the volume, right? Like, this is what we've always wanted. We had ideas for this, just a virtual set. Like he knows what he wants, and he has the finances to back up what he wants. And people don't give this enough credit. Special editions in the prequels were not studio funded. They were just studio distributed. All the funds came from George Lucas,
George Walton Lucas,
ILM, and Lucasfilm. Like, he funded everything. That's why these have a certain feeling to them. I don't know. There's something to this, right? Like, he obviously, and people don't even bring this up, he revolutionized digital cinema experiences. We would not have, a Dolby theater. Yes, literally.
I remember how huge they pushed that the first digital movie would be Attack of the Clones. I remember all of that push. I remember so much of the ads and talking about it on the news, everywhere.
It's insane.
Yeah,
insane.
It's wow, okay.
You can name, and Enlightened Magic talks about that. You can name 40 different things: digital editing, 3D animation. This was all because George funded it. He is so integral in how movies have become the way they are. And like THX, one of my favorite, coolest sound ever.
Greatest parody on Tiny Toon Adventures. Just saying, the audience is now deaf. Yes,
dude, they have one on Robot Chicken. They have one on Robot Chicken where I think it's, you watched it yesterday, where IG88 walks in and he's like, oh no, it's THX 1138. What's up, man? And he goes, the room is rattling, and he's like, yeah, you gotta go. But Dengar was like, nah, bro, you gotta go. I was like,
I kind of miss that old. I miss that old.
Oh, dude.
Now it's it has a little bit of it at the end, but it's the boom, 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 boom. It's it's very flashy and all that kind of stuff. It's great for the kids. I miss my blue box and white letters and loud noise that kind of grated on my nerves, but also made me fall in love.
Digital audio editing is something else. So you got to think, when film was coming out, obviously all the audio and music were all on a piece of strip running with the movie, which is insane. All on a magnetic tape strip that would be playing through the 5.1 surround sound. Now, George, in the 80s, found a way to digitally alter the sound channels and make them to where you can have true 5.1 all digital edit. It's just like people don't talk about not just Star Wars enough, obviously, but like they don't talk about his achievements in terms of like changing everything for us.
How he inspired other people who made things that revolutionized. Like, I mean, like John Knoll, because he got a job at Lucasfilm and all this, because like he ended up creating Photoshop and everything, right? Like it's
literally
so many things that a lot of people use or use variations of in the modern world. Like if you have an app on your phone that you can edit photos and do, like you have a function in your camera, the camera on your phone, like the photo section that you like, it's and it's not Photoshop, but it's like it comes from that kind of that technology.
It stems all from that.
Yeah.
And watch, here's a great example. There's a video I'm gonna play. It's right here. It's Ben Burt digitally editing, I think, Attack of the Clones, right? Watch.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, George. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Like imagine editing on those CRTs. Like that's insane to me. Then they also at ILM they were doing video chat across the world in 2003. Watch, here you go.
There's the Rickmeister.
How?
There's the Rickmeister.
How? Like they were always on the breaking edge of shit, man. What we're doing right now, they've been doing for almost 20 years. It's just like
since Scotty was in diapers and I was 12 years old. So
yes, I was 7.
Even before.
But let's move on.
Well, yeah. Well,
it's part of
I may have been in diapers too. Who knows?
I tend to reflect on this a lot, and I do this with people my age, and you too, Jerry. I reflect on how much things have changed ever since our childhood. But in terms of just technologically speaking, like anyone could be a broadcaster now. Who would have ever thought that? Like anyone could be a Larry King. Like I even said, Alden Diaz's Ryan Johnson interview is Larry King level. Like if you have the skills, you can do it too. And you'll see tomorrow when we announce our guest. I mean, you can. It's just achievable. I don't know. It's impressive to me. It just blows my mind how
I just
easy
can't believe
all
Mark
this can
Hamill
be.
decided to sit down with us. Oh no! Oh, it's not. Got you. I got you.
Fell for it.
You thought
no, but that was that's going to be a good chat with Robert Rodriguez as well. That's going to be a really good chat with Robert Rodriguez tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good. Shh, Scotty.
Moving on.
Anyway. And you'll have to decide if you think it's real or not and not sleep for the rest of the night.
Is great. Used to convey certain social values, certain social
mythology, I think,
precepts from one generation to another generation, and to hand it down. In the beginning, obviously, it was an oral tradition, and it was really designed to give the community itself a cohesive set of sort of thinking modules that allowed them to be a society. And then these were told in story form because that was the best way to teach it. When I got into college, and studied anthropology, and I
Joseph Campbell stuff right there. That was he used the phrase teaching modules. Yeah. He used the phrase teaching modules, and like I don't know if y'all know this, but the Lucas Foundation is like, and you can look it up. Like George Lucas has a whole educational foundation, and like I have the newsletter. I get it like every week, and like it's just like that was such a teaching thing. Even though he's not naturally he's naturally a teacher, but not certifiably a teacher. He just has that. Like you can trust him, not because you know he's right. You just know there's something in that guy where you're like, you know what, like that there's no way he's wrong. You know what I mean? Like he may not
got
be
a comprehension of the subject, whether or not he is a formally educated.
Beautifully said, Jerry. I agree. That's exactly what it is. He's just someone you know he knows what he's talking about, right? You're not going to question it. It might be a little bit of a knowledge, but he's got something there. Like that was so beautifully said. That's all Star Wars is. It's mythology. It's you culturally, how it impacts the culture. I love that. That was awesome. I'm gonna keep playing if that's okay.
Yeah, fine. Okay, I guess.
Sort of got into this stuff. I realized, and one of my instructors said, that the Western was the last of the American mythology, and really probably one of the last of the world mythologies that had been developed. And then in the 60s, that all fell apart, and Western sort of, went by the wayside, especially in the film business, not necessarily in the literary field. But as a popular myth transport, we were sitting there with nothing specifically mythic. And one of the reasons that I started doing the film was I was interested in creating a new kind of myth and using space to do it, because that's the new frontier. Well, the issue is that it was always meant that Greedo fired first.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
And in the original
Holy
film,
shit! That was a quick transition. That was a harsh cut. But I mean, we can all agree on that. Like that's why we do this, and that's literally why is that I can have a late night conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I can have a late night conversation with Gerry and just talk about what George did, or about why Ben Solo is this, or why Obi-Wan is this. Like there's it's story, it's myth making. I don't know. It's deep. It's just so there's something to it, man. And wait, this is great. Brian brought up a really good point right here. In the early 90s, we shopped around a couple of shows submitting the network development department's no bites, but that was the route. Today, post on YouTube, TikTok, stream it yourself, and that's all because of George. Literally,
right?
All because of George. Digital editing,
and now like
all of it.
People can vote with their dollars, clicks, whatever. It's
so crazy, so crazy.
Too much.
That
content.
was that.
Not too much.
George,
it's the freedom of content creation, I guess, a little bit. Like it's kind of like a anyway.
I was gonna show
I'm waxing very poetic about YouTubers, and I should just stop.
You don't get that too well. And then there was a discussion about, well, it's good that it's left amorphous and everything, but I basically in terms of Han's character and everything, I didn't like the fact that when he was introduced the first
damn it. In terms of Han's character, sorry.
Don't you love how Lando Calrissian essentially just says everything like George Lucas?
Oh yeah, because Billy D took the direction. He had to. He had to take the direction of Gungans, Naboo.
I want to hear Billy D. Williams say Gungans so bad. Gungans.
It's amazing.
Gungans.
And everything. I didn't like the fact that when he was introduced, the first thing he did is just gun somebody down in cold blood. That wasn't what was meant to be there. And the other issue, and again, it's a perception issue. When you're doing something like this, we had 3 different versions of that shot. And one he fires very close to when Han fires, and one was 3 frames later, one was 3 frames later. And we sort of looked at it and tried to figure out which one would be perceivable, but wouldn't, wouldn't look corny. And it's very hard to do that because, I mean, obviously, if you know the film real well and you're looking for that, you see it. If you don't know the film very well and you're just watching the movie, it almost goes right by you.
Yeah.
You don't even.
It's so fast.
A lot of things going on. People don't
I didn't know that was a debate until literally 2012. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing that people talked about.
Well, like Han shot first, or
I just didn't know that was a thing. I had no idea. Even in 2005, I had no idea. I was a kid.
Well, like even me growing up, like it wasn't like a huge thing. Like, I mean, I think when I started working at the movie theater, my friends there started, like, that's how I found out about it, But I've always I watched both versions, and I was like, all right, they still shoot at each other. It's fine, whatever. And I know I'm very controversial on this. I think I'm the future. I'm just saying, people are just gonna watch these versions. So I'm gonna win.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah. I win.
Even now,
you're playing the long game.
So it's trying to find that medium ground, and it's always this way in.
It's all my kids
in
watching.
Film, of what can the majority of the audience perceive, and what can't they perceive, and one of the things that I do and I like, but that accusations have been made about is I like fast-paced movies, and I like things to go by in a very almost surreal way. And so, I'm caught between doing things that work for me with, really understanding and seeing something and understanding what's going on. And the audience, which I know is looking at something for the first time, and things go by in a very different way. And so there's always this conflict about where you draw the line. And perhaps I should have done it 2 frames sooner.
He's so weird. It's like he's got a great sense of humor, and he has to, to make films so lovable and
I mean,
endearing.
And I mean, I think he hadn't quite gotten the ire, the full wrath of the fans that he created yet.
Oh yeah.
Like it was after the special editions, again, like they were saying, and it turned George from that like very happy. And again, like not that he's not happy. Like I think he's still very I think he's still a very jovial guy, but I think he's a lot more pragmatic and maybe a little more cynical. It turned George from that happy-go-lucky guy to this. So.
That was a beautiful transition. Good God. That is awesome.
But yeah, it's just you want one more time? You want one more time? Look at it. Look
it was perfect.
From that to this.
To that. Noodles.
You did this to him.
Eat like noodles are God.
Listen, do you read it? Do you read it? Star Empire Strikes Back Wars?
It works though.
We had this kind of low budget young director and all this kind of problems that we had to cope with, which made the film less than what it could be. With Kirshner and Empire, it was a much better situation, and we had a lot more resources, and Kirsch is a great director, so we didn't really have to change too much. Most of what we changed, one were some things like Cloud City, which Kirsch was complaining on the set, and I was saying, look, they're just not going to let us have any more set because it costs too much, and the idea of putting in digital backgrounds, that didn't exist then. You wouldn't even think about doing something like that. So a lot of the same thing with a snow monster. We tried to have a snow monster. We built a snow monster. It just looked terrible, and it was Kirshner. Said, we can't let this stay in here. I said, you're right, it's terrible. So we cut it out. We had somebody else do another little tiny puppet that we used just marginally to give you the impression of a monster. But we all wanted to have that monster in there. And a lot of these things are things you want on the set that you have to make compromises for. And you say, now we're going to do it the way we wanted to do it then. And again, it's an economic opportunity. Somebody's willing to put up some money, and we can, whenever for a filmmaker, you're restricted by your resources. They give you X amount of dollars. I know this doesn't always happen here, but they give you X amount of dollars, and you pretty much have to live with it. And if you sort of say, well, I got so many days, and they're going to cut me off, and I got so much stuff, and you have to sort of make it work within reason. I know a lot of the times the stories come out that it's very different, that people just spend resources like there's no restrictions, but in 99% of the cases, there are very severe restrictions. And that was the original intention.
That was interesting.
That's
and I'm a firm believer in this. It's something that I learned from Jack White as a kid. Limiting what you have can either lead to two things. It can lead to like a mental roadblock, or it can lead you to like absolute creativity. For example, like Jack White was a minimalist in design. So every album was 3 colors. It was red, black, and white. That's it. Right? That's all you had to work with. His stage presence, what he wore on stage, red, black, and white. The picks he used, red, black, and white. The guitars he played, the drums on, it was like, that is how he approached it. And that limiting your creativity can help you so much. It allows you to rethink certain things, but also it does almost make you too constricted, and you have potential to do so much more. Like, here's a great example: early Beach Boy albums versus later Beach Boy albums. Early Beach Boy albums is super straightforward guitar, and then later Beach Boy albums, you got literally goats and cows, like that scene in Dewey Cox, right? Or Dewey, and I'm not even singing on this song, Dewey. I think the goat's getting more airtime than I am. It's just like,
he's got the didgeridoo,
the black choir. He's got like, it's like he's got yodelers. I'm like, that is when you use too much of your resources. And George is right. I mean, when you limit yourself, it can put a hinge on you, but also it can really help you out. It's really interesting. I've never really heard George say that before, but it's part of it. You have any thoughts on that at all? I'm just, how do you approach it? Because creativity is weird for us, right? You and I have different approaches to creativity. Do you think less is more, or more helps? I mean, what do you think?
my take on it is, what's your style?
That's true.
You know,
that's
'cause
100%
I think both
true.
can work in different situations. You know, like what is your style? What are you passionate about? What is the medium that you can work in? And like, you know, like the overproduced songs and stuff, like the weirdness and everything. Like I'm an Arcade Fire fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I
super layered.
I love out there weird,
layered.
Like, and
yeah.
like give me the didgeridoo with the goat, with the choir, with the
Sure.
yodelers. Give like I
If
want to
it
hear what it
works.
sounds like. Right. You know, if it's something that, if it strikes you know, my fancy, whatever. But like, when it comes to art, again, like it's what medium do you want to work? What medium are you passionate about?
Yeah.
And go with that.
And
Like Jack White. Jack White's minimalist. That's him. That's Jack White.
Yeah. That's who he is. Look at his new tour. I'm going to see him in September. It's
George
all blue.
Lucas. George Lucas is Rontos and freaking musical numbers, and you better get effing used to it. That's all I'm saying.
See,
he told
it's
you
like
in '97.
Look, and I'll show you the difference. Here's the difference of
getting
sensibilities, because we both have different approaches. When it comes to design, extremely minimalist, tells you exactly what you say. There's no borders.
I think I know what
it's
you're gonna say.
blue. Well, it's blue, and it's us. Dude, this is so wild. Look at our shirts right now. Holy shit. No way.
This is insane. This did not happen on purpose, guys. This is where me and Scotty are like right there. You wore that because Rick, we were going to see some Rick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wore this because I'm like, we're talking about the original Bombastard himself and his definitive editions. Thank you.
There we go. You're not wrong. And like, look, this is Jerry's approach to design. He likes darker colors. He likes brighter fonts. And I like a lot of Jerry's designs look this way. And like, here's a great example, right? You like that your eyes draw to a certain area. I like when my eyes kind of go over here. Look, another Jerry design. Great example of one. Okay.
Now listen. Now this one's kind of like a cluster F, like I used to do for like our things like that. But like, listen, that's a Return of the Jedi. That's that poster. Okay, that's what it is. And that is going to happen. Alden's going to come on.
Here's some more examples of my
can of hot dogs.
My hot dog Rick. Right.
Hot dog Rick.
There's something to this. I don't know. And Jerry and I have our own approaches. Here's the one that I put a lot of work into. It's Tim Cook.
That's impressive.
This one took a lot of work because I even did the reflections and I flipped the logo because it would be flipped if you saw it from his perspective. There was a lot of work that went into that one. This one, I don't even know who edited this one. Who did this one? Who was it? Nick?
Was it Michael or Nick?
I think it was Nick or Michael. Everyone has
the same font for my Canon Junkie corner as well. If you notice, it's just a different color.
It's on Canva. Yeah.
No, the Canva, and I just figured out how to do the white outline around someone so they look like a sticker.
Oh, it's great.
George,
shadows.
So
you do shadows. Yeah, that's awesome. Smart thinking.
Now I can't be stopped.
If it wasn't for that Photoshop, John Knoll, we would have what we have today with Canva.
Yeah.
And then think about like we were saying earlier, you know, just the fact that we have chances to express our creative outlet in different ways, you know, through different mediums, through our own designs and our own aesthetic for art and what we like. It's just, I don't know. There's something like
you work in the place you're comfortable and what you're passionate about and stuff. And like, that's why this show is a melding of me and Scotty's mediums.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So that's why
you'll see that in tomorrow's interview. You'll see exactly what we're talking about when we have that interview tomorrow.
We're gonna be meshing all over our guests.
We're gonna be meshing and the guest is gonna mesh with us. So there's something to
we're all gonna mesh. It's gonna be a group mesh, sesh.
I love that.
Yes.
Let's get back to this.
Pretty determined to get those 3 movies finished. After the first film came out and suddenly it was a giant hit, which was a big story. I said, I get to do these 2 movies. And everybody said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, gee, I can do these backstories too. And that would be interesting to be able to make it. And that's where the sort of starting at episode 4 came, because I said, well, gee, maybe I'll do the other 3, I can make 3 out of this backstory. And then, so that evolved right around the time the film was released, after I knew it was a success. And then everybody started saying, well, you're going to do sequels.
Uh-oh.
I said, gosh, sequels. Well, I guess I could do sequels. I could do 3, of what happens later on. But that was really an afterthought. I don't have scripts. I don't have any story. The only notion on that one is wouldn't it be fun to get all the actors to come back when they're like 60 and 70 years old and make 3 more that are about them as old people. And
so wait, that's interesting because that's not what we got, because it's not about them. It's about the next generation.
It is technically it is like them coming back at that age, though.
Yes. But they aren't the focal point. The focal point is how do you pass the baton, which is kind of cool.
And yes.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit of both.
The first movie is all about Luke. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we're here to talk about.
No. I like
look at that man. He is rocketing out of his chair because he has so many good ideas. Look at that.
He's gonna go write them. I'm gonna go back for a second. Let's hear it.
The power of his ideas.
But that was really an afterthought. I don't have scripts. I don't have any story. The only notion on that one is wouldn't it be fun to get all the actors to come back when they're like 60 and 70 years old and make 3 more that are about them as old people. And so that's about as far as that one's gone so far. These obviously the first 6 will get finished and will be the film, and then whether I go into a sequel to this is because I'll also be 70 soon. I'm not sure whether that's going to happen.
There we go. That was good. I want to pull up one Brian Fry sent us. Brian Fry sent us one that he actually has on his channel. So give me 1 second while I get that queued up real quick. Let's see. This has been pretty fun.
To his channel. I don't know if everyone he wants us to say that. Go do it. But like, it's been a blast.
I love being able to watch. Oh, what Brian has 23 minutes of this. Hold up, 9 views.
Wow.
Now this does have. Now, Brian, I might not be able to play this because there could be some copyright footage and sound. Hold on.
We might have to go review and maybe do a part 2 or something.
I'm gonna see what happens. We'll just try.
Or see what we got.
So this is, I guess, Brian. You might have to clarify. Was this from a DVD? Oh, it's the second who just started for old footage. Look at Brian. I love Brian. Brian's a great guy.
Brian is the goat, as they say. Look at that graphic.
I know. It's delicious. DeLorean.
By the way, that Back to the Future ride, so good. I miss it. It's not there anymore, right?
Look at this.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. Oh, this is old school sci-fi.
The 70s. For many, it was a decade to forget. But then in 1977, something happened that gave Americans a reason to remember. One event exploded onto the big screen.
Star Wars. That's all that happened in the 70s.
Now, 20 years later, we remember again.
Wow. I think I remember watching this.
The Star Wars trilogy.
I watched a lot of sci-fi back in the day.
Star Wars was designed to be a theatrical experience. It was designed to be on the big screen. Anybody who's actually seen it on the
Just
screen
Americans
knows pretty much what I'm talking about.
The Star Wars saga. It's a little story made in a very big way.
We'll be safe enough once we make the jump to hyperspace.
This technological masterpiece with ageless characters mesmerized the youth of yesterday. Now, Mark Hamill says it's
Look at him
time to reintroduce those characters to a whole new generation.
A pirate, a princess, a farm boy, a wizard, and a couple of laughable robots. What's not to like?
A lot, according to Star Wars creator George Lucas.
I wasn't real happy with it when it came out and never felt it really got finished.
From dueling lightsabers to the epic space battle.
Okay, I might pause this because this is awesome. This is awesome. I want to get more of the press conference. This is a badass.
This is there's a lot of copyrighted footage in this as well. A lot.
Let's see if this is more.
No, let's play that. Play that.
Play it.
needed more than the Force to blast Star Wars into the 90s. Meet his team of wizards and the tools they used.
Yeah, exactly, Woodsy. Exactly, Woodsy.
Wild Pacific.
Oh, I see you did the pause.
Wild Posse Dick?
Restored audio.
Yeah.
You can shake your seats.
Enhanced images.
It's like taking a layer of
Who is this guy?
glad bag
Is that Ted
or
Cruz?
saran wrap off your glasses.
Who is that?
Okay, I don't want to get copyright attacked, but that I'm gonna watch
It's
that
not good for
later,
business.
Brian.
Getting copyright strike is not good for business. That is
It's
fantastic.
not good for
we should do
business.
like maybe we could do a watch along with patrons. That's just my thing. If we can't do it on the show because of copyright, well, let's just do it with the patrons, which maybe we'll do.
Maybe
after Podathon, who knows?
Yep, there will be more time to do silly things. Here's one, same channel. Big shout out to this channel, by the way. I haven't said anything. The channel's called Take 2 Mark TV. Take 2 Mark TV. I just went and thumbs up their stuff. This is Ben Burt's little, I guess, spliced up moments talking about the OT. Only has 100 views. So weird. Wow. I want to see this full press release because apparently it's out there, and I'm sure we know someone that may have it. I've just never seen it before.
So a lot of dead air there.
Years
This is
ago,
really
I was
long
a young
title.
film student just graduating from USC, and I was hired by Gary Kurtz and George Lucas to begin collecting sounds to develop.
Why does he
sounds
always
for
look
a
like
movie
this?
Called The Star Wars at that time.
Looks like a high school
And
principal.
It was an opportunity that was very special because I was given
Like
about
he's
a
literally
year
dressed like my high school
to just
principal.
roam around with a tape recorder and a microphone and develop sounds for the movie before it had actually been filmed. That was an unusual, it was an unusual profession at that time. No one developed sound and tried to customize sound in that particular way, and I knew it was a very special opportunity, but I never realized how far it would come. I can remember the last time I was in this room about 22 years ago, I came in to play some sound, and I was standing back by the console there, and I was with the mixers that were there, and I reached to touch something, and they slapped my hand and said, no, you're not allowed to do that here, kind of thing. And I was just looked upon as kind of a film student, and it was my first indoctrination to the Hollywood sound system. But now I'm back today, and hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. And it's fun to see all that time pass and to see the changes that have taken place.
God, I love that because he changed everything. I love that. I can't believe that someone told Ben Burtt not to do his job. Like, that's so surreal to me because he changed everything.
Yeah, no, he's the one who created the lightsaber noise. Thank you very much.
Like everything. He blended so much sound together, and someone was like,
he
no,
also
don't touch
blend.
that.
He does blend Rick and George's voices. William, I can
With
hear
his
it.
mouth.
I can hear it. Yes, that's the magic of Ben Burtt.
Question is, are we abandoning the old acoustic sounds in favor of the synthetic sounds? No, not at all. The audio style of Star Wars was set way back, and it was in a discussion where we were told that George said, I want an organic soundtrack. In other words, I want everything to sound as if it's plausible and real. And we decided at that time that, of course, the best way to guarantee that was to go out and record real sounds in the real world and build the Star Wars audio textures out of that material. And so we've always done that. And I think despite all the advances in technology, the most critical item in the design of a sound of a film is the selection of just the right sound at the right moment, and also one person with a tape recorder wandering around trying to find just the right thing. In the speeder bike chase, there's a sound used over and over again when they shift gears and hit pedals and you hear it accelerate and go back and forth. That was a sound I heard. I was in an office at Elstree Studios, and I heard a funny sound in the street outside. And I looked out, and there was a guy with a pneumatic air hammer with a stone had gotten caught, apparently in the rubber hosing, and he was fighting with this thing. And I ran and got my tape recorder, went outside, and said, "Don't do anything. Just wait a minute." And the guy was looking at me, and I recorded him trying to flush this stone out of the broken pneumatic air hammer. And that sound became the basis for the speeder bikes, you know, and something I wouldn't have thought of or created in the studio. But it's that kind of alertness, I think, and the search for sounds. I mean, that whole, you know, the films are built up of many, many stories like that, of finding individual moments of sound.
I want to address one thing too, because I think it's super important to think about. The special effects wouldn't work if the sound didn't work with them. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to like have a really well edited claymation, whatever it is, a special effect or anything rotoscoped in, or even the Dijkstra stuff. It wouldn't work if the sounds didn't work with it. It's wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something.
It's all. Yeah. It's all in tandem. It's all in tandem.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
It's not believable.
And like I can hear the. No, I can hear it.
Yeah,
I can
hear
hear
it.
it.
Shifting gears.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
and they're like
the rock stuck in a pneumatic hammer. What the what the hell?
Oh, God, I love
the
this.
blasters are just like he's like hitting a wire.
The wire,
like it's so wild. I showed that to Eleanor the other day, like the lightsaber thing, and she's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." You know, like it's weird. It's weird and wild. And again, your art. Like, what is your art? Like, what's your medium? Like, what is too much, what's not enough? And I mean, they're layering all kinds of sounds. He's going out, stopping construction workers, recording the most random stuff.
Think about
like,
that,
who
dude.
thinks like that? Who thinks like that except Ben Burt? Like, if I hit this wire, that's a cool noise. You know?
So it's funny. Like, think about, did he ever credit that guy? Or like, is it just part of the environment? So it doesn't really have a credit? Like that man unknowingly, when his damn thing got stuck, like, and he could have been a complete, you know, not Star Wars fan or doesn't know what Star Wars is.
He probably didn't know. Like,
changed. He is unknowingly changed. You know, the sound of, you know, how we interpret the speeder bikes. Like, it's just, I love this. I love this stuff.
What if that guy knows? Like you said, like it's just like if he's sitting there, like, I'm the one who recorded that. So they recorded that sound from.
Yep. Literally.
So we'll continue to emphasize the organic acoustic element, I think, always. In remastering the films, there was really two very important reasons to do this. Of course, we had new material, new scenes that had to be integrated into the original soundtracks. We had to be able to go in sort of surgically and add our new material and connect it with the music and dialogue and sound effects that were there in the original recordings. And of course, there are many new enhancements to scenes which required new sounds to be overlaid where there was new elements, new spaceships or new explosions or whatever it might be. We also wanted to take advantage of the new technology that we have now. The fact that we can reach thousands of theaters around the world now with digital soundtracks, the DTS, the SDDS, and the Dolby SRD digital formats, which now exist. It allows us to for the first time reach a worldwide audience with the high quality sound that the original films had, but we've also been able to now expand those soundtracks and really make it much more spatial, because we can put sounds in different corners of the room. We can extend the low frequencies so we can shake your seats.
Wow.
We can create a much more dynamic sound environment for the viewers. You know, the original soundtracks of the Star Wars trilogy were very good. They were done by, they were innovative, they were groundbreaking in their day. But the heartache for someone like myself back at that time was that, yes, in a studio we could do wonderful things. We could hear something in a dubbing stage like this, but that kind of audio wasn't reaching the public on a worldwide basis. There were limited 70mm releases, which were good, but by and large, the work that we did to create an environment of sound, to create something articulate, was not reaching the general public. It was very disappointing after all the work on the original trilogy to just go to an average theater somewhere in the country and hear it played in an inferior fashion. But that's all changing now, so we really are able to take advantage of and have much greater confidence that the new digital tracks which we've created will get played back in all their glory. The question is, are the
that was a long one, but that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird. We take for granted, and I think most young people may not realize this. I was talking to Katie about this 2 nights ago, how when we'd go into theaters, like it would still be printed films with when we were growing up. And I know you worked in
see
the
the
theater,
scratches on the film. And
Yeah,
everything.
I
helped move
remember.
prints. Yeah.
Yes, so insane, dude. And like we have studio, like you can see my speakers. I have studio grade, surround sound speakers. These are from 2008, and they sound amazing. And if it wasn't for the innovations made by these gentlemen here, I mean,
yeah.
Well,
in a lot of places that fallen into disrepair, and I mean, it seems a little elitist, I think maybe, but at the same time, like, I mean, you want the art that you've created to be presented in the best way possible, right? Like you don't want like a half version of it, and it's just it's understandable to a point, and it's amazing that we have so much of this technology now, right?
Commercially, and it's not affordable, like literally
almost everywhere.
Oh yeah, like Eric, we went to Costco and we bought him a 5.1, but it was genius. The 5.1 is a sound bar and then 2 wireless rear speakers and a sub that goes to the side of the couch.
Yeah,
$200, so affordable. Like you can have a studio grade, like just have it works magnificently. So like I don't know, I think this kind of stuff is so cool to think about retrospectively too, because that's something we take for granted now. Like that's just so accessible for everyone, Like I love talking about this stuff with you. This is my favorite thing. What's I thought about playing the TPM press junket stuff. We're gonna cut that. We're gonna say that for another day.
We'll do another episode.
We'll do another episode, but let's finish out this last video, then we can call it a night. Here we go.
Are the sound elements in restoration easier to manipulate than the visual elements? Well, certainly the sound elements in general are not as perishable as the visual elements, although we had some tracks, get dried out a bit and flake a little bit, but nothing that impacted us where we had to panic or come up with an alternative pathway to solve the problem. It's probably less expensive to make changes in sound always. Because,
it is.
Yeah, right. Because it's a little more flexible.
It is.
You can do things overnight a bit quicker. It's somewhat easy to take a sound out and put it back in a fairly routine fashion. Our main time-consuming problem, there's the aesthetic ones of if you look at a film you did 20 years ago, you have to decide, do I want to leave it the way it was? Do I want to change it? Maybe you're capable of changing it, but maybe you shouldn't, because what was done then at the time, under the stress of the time, forces you to make certain creative choices back then, which made the film what it was. So we wanted to retain all the values that we had in the original soundtracks and very carefully add to it in a way which wouldn't, stylistically shift the original feeling of the whole movie. I think in general, I can't say it's easier because I didn't do the visual side, but it's probably you can do things faster.
God, what a genius.
Yeah.
And
he's just like, no offense, but he looks like a science teacher, Yeah.
Like he's got that.
Like in the 90s, like maybe that's 90s principle. Like I haven't been to a school in a long time, so but again, that's like straight up like what my principal wore and everything. But like he's very matter of fact, very like here's how it is.
But it's true, right?
But also very brilliant.
Yeah, there's a brilliance there with anything he says, and like there's a reason why I love this guy, and part of it too is like you can hear him chime in every now and then, but if it wasn't for Rick, we wouldn't actually have a lot of this stuff because Rick had to be the one to produce it. I mean, literally, I heard on a podcast, there's a reason producers are the ones that go and grab the best film of the year awards because they're the ones that have to put. It's producers and directors. They have to put all this shit together, find the people to get it done, and that's their gig.
They have to find out how do I make this vision happen. Yeah.
It's so dense, like Rick said, and like that's part of this, so dense. Like there's images on every screen, but like
we still have that. Oh man, I need like that image of him, just the coffee mug, like listening to you or something. I forget who he's talking to. He's drinking out of the red coffee cup.
Oh, he's talking to you, and it's like, dude, we're gonna love this, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's going on, Elder Pug? So look,
hey, what's up, Troy?
We want to say, obviously, stay tuned for tomorrow. We're not going to give anything away today. This is how the
we're
order.
not telling tonight.
The news is gonna drop on streaming Star Wars tomorrow with a clip, more than likely. So tune into that tomorrow. Then it will also drop on our socials and our Patreon just a little bit ahead of time so people can react to it. But we're going to be recording a very big interview for us tomorrow. And everyone, like I said,
our biggest interview, I would say.
It is. And you know what's funny? It's
our
like
biggest interview to date.
We almost can't be nervous for it because this person is so comfortable with what we're going to talk about. It's not like we're going to be doing that much work. So we hope to bring you a really good conversation with this interview. And we'll drop clips leading up the Python and stuff too.
Is it giving away too much that I feel like this person would gel with us very well as well?
I think that's fair.
I don't think so. I feel like
get it.
This person has Bombad energy.
So we're going to be our same Bombad selves, but we're not going to do the ridiculous stuff. You know, we don't want to scare the guests in any possible way, but we want to have a conversation that has never been had with this guest. That's what we kind of want out of this. We want some questions we never had. I'm sorry. We want some answers we never had. We want to answer some questions. I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. We want to have answers to questions that we've never had before, especially a couple of clips that you have seen on the show or in general. So
yes, nothing crazy. We're not going to do anything crazy.
Nope, definitely not that. That won't happen.
Oh, hey, thank you, Rick. Thank you. Rick.
Oh my God.
Shh, Rick.
Dude. Yep, you did, Brian. Brian, you did it. That was so generous.
You made it. Welcome.
Oh man.
The Bryans are together once again.
Every Thursday, Bombadcast. Every other Saturday, this Saturday, including Goose. Hyperfocus every Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you haven't yet, you can join our Patreon. You'll see the announcement first there. You got some perks to that Patreon, special shows that you can watch, including Jerry's Canon Junkie Corner. That being said, Jerry, do we want to sign out? Are we ready to call it a night? I had a great time with you. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock for a special interview. Look at this. My dad said it's going to be epic. Thank you, Dad. Yeah, no one knows, Dad. Don't spoil
what's up, Chris?
He knows that my dad knows it. Don't say.
I haven't told my parents. Okay,
so maybe perfect. I bet he's gonna be like, I can't wait for. I don't even know if I can end the stream fast enough. I just block my dad on social media. Like, no. Oh man,
we love you, Chris.
You're gonna be sick when you talk to. Oh well,
I'm just kidding.
I can't wait for our guest tomorrow to say this catchphrase. Oh, I'm gonna cry when I hear it. I'm going to explode into tears.
Hilarious joy.
Oh man, Jesus. Well, I'm gonna let you do it, and then we're gonna call it a night.
Oh, well, guys, tune in tomorrow to see our wonderful guest eat noodles and make your art. Just make your art. Make your art, and you know what matters? Story, and staying Bombad.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat.
Jerry, you're off the. I kicked you off the thing, so we didn't.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind?
Guys, I just want to come in and say, watch Chucky's bowler hat. It's held between his ears. It's not on his head. The only thing holding that bowler hat on Chuck E. Cheese's, Charles Entertainment Cheese's head is his oversized ears. That's all I want to say. You're not going to be able to unsee it.
Asking him if you'll
Do you have a tail, or is that your hair in the back?
あ、ほら髪の毛と下に尻尾があります。
Hair and a tail. Wow. The best of both worlds.
わあ、Thank you! 私の髪の毛と尻尾はとっても自慢の髪の毛と尻尾なんです。ありがとうございます。
Yeah, it really such a unique little character. It's mesmerizing. So anyway, I forgot the question.